Well, this deck has been a long time coming. I'm just glad I was able to do it thanks to the Ghost from the Past reprints. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Team Forbidden's YouTube page again. It is Andrew the Collector here, back with a profile that I did only once before of Generators. I've been playtesting this deck a lot on Master Duel. The only difference is that I was able to use Max C in there, which hopefully it can come back.
And Calamities.
And Calamities, thank you, Eric. But aside from those two cards, the deck is basically the same, and honestly, it really works. Would I say it's highly competitive? No. Against this current meta, I wouldn't say it's necessarily it can necessarily top a lot. It has a potential if I can figure out the side deck, but we'll get into that later. But as of now, I think it's really good to take to your locals and have fun there. But I would not really recommend it to a YCS or even a regionals, because you may not get very far with it, since a lot of people run a lot of counters against this deck. But again, we'll go into that when we get into it. So let's just hop right into it. So we're going to start out with 3 Loptar. The basic gimmick of Generators is that they revolve around the level 9 monsters with different types and attributes. Loptar, he has 2 effects. His first one is that during the main phase of either player's turn, which is a quick effect, he can tribute a Generator monster on the field to special summon another one from the deck with a different name. And his second effect is that during your opponent's turn, all Generator monsters gain 1,000 attack and defense. Why that's relevant, I'll get more into that if you're not too familiar with Generators. Next, we have 2 of the main guy you're going to go into most of the time is Har, Generator, Boss of Storms. He has 2 effects. His first effect is that if your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, except during the draw phase, they have to send a monster from their hand or field to the graveyard. And his second effect is that if your opponent activates a card or effect of any kind, you contribute 2 Generator monsters that you control and negate and destroy that card. Then our other 2 Generators are Hela, Generator of Boss of Doom. Her effect is you contribute a Generator monster that you control to special summon one from your graveyard with a different name, and that is a quick effect. Our next one is Generator Boss of, Delusion. His effect is quick effect, is you contribute 2 Generator monsters to target a card on the field and banish it. 1 Nidhogg, his effect is you contribute a Generator monster that you control, only 1, to negate the special summon of a monster that your opponent attempts to special summon. Only inherent special summon. And our last Generator main deck monster is Mardell, Generator Boss of Light. If she is normal or special summoned, you can search out a Generator card from your deck to your hand, or a plant monster, but she's obviously the only plant one, so you basically search any Generator card. I'm so glad that she got reprinted because she was $30+. Now she is under $1, and that's how I was able to get this deck out as quickly as I wanted to. Our next monster is an honorary Generator card, is Trice. Her effect is that during the main phase, during another player's turn, which is a quick effect, you contribute up 1 to 3 fairy monsters you control to special summon her from the hand or deck, hand or graveyard. And depending on the number of monsters that you tribute, you can gain the following effects. 2 or more, you can destroy a card your opponent controls, or 3 or more, you can draw 2 cards. And that happens at the same time, so your opponent can negate one or the other. They would have to negate the effect of her special summoning to begin with. Provides really good interruption, and it's a level 9, which is really good synergy for the deck. I'm really amazed that she's not a Generator monster. Speaking of synergy, to Condemn Witch. Her first effect is that when she is normal summoned, you can search out a Forbidden card from your deck to your hand. And her second effect is during your opponent's main phase, you contribute her to special summon a level 4 fairy monster from your deck, which so happens to be your Loptar if you're unable to get to him. So yeah, again, really good synergy, and it gives you a disruption if you're able to go through it. Now to the spells. The backbone of this deck is Generator Boss Stage. Has 2 effects. First one is when your opponent adds a card from their deck to your hand, including during the draw phase, you can special summon a Generaider monster from your deck to your side of the field in defense position. And the second effect is that when a Generaider monster is special summoned, you can special summon as many Generaider tokens that you control to your side of the field. This is really good. This is where all their effects come in to tribute to gain effects. The idea is to tribute the tokens during your opponent's turn to get off their effects, whether to negate summons, banish a card, summon a monster from your graveyard, or negate stuff, or even special summon from the deck. That's the whole point of the Generaider strategy. And of course, when terraforming, because it's terraforming. And to increase our consistency, we have Generaider Boss Quest. Its effect is that you reveal a Generaider monster in your hand, send it back to the deck, and then add up to 2 different Generaider spell or traps with different names from your deck to your hand. So it's basically a break-even card.
The one thing to note is the revealing a card, because this came up in a game that Andrew and I had earlier today. The revealing a card is not a cost. So you reveal it and then return it all back to and get the new cards. It's all part of the same effect.
That's correct. Off to the next best thing for this deck, World Legacy Monstrosity has 2 effects. First one is that you can special summon a level 9 from your hand, broken as shit. But the second one is where this card really shines, because you can target a Generaider monster that you control and special summon 2 more from your deck with different attributes than that monster. But they're destroyed at the end of the turn. And this is a quick play. So if you have, let's say that you have Hair on your side of the field, you use this effect to tribute 2 of the tokens, which frees up 2 spots. You chain this to targeting him to special summon out your Nidhogg, which can negate a summon, and your Boss of Delusion, which can banish a card. So that's 2 more interruptions right off of the spot. Then to also increase the consistency, Karakiri Curse. Basically, you pitch a level 9 monster from your hand or from your side of the field to draw 2 cards. Broken. And speaking of broken, Forbidden Chalice. This is the card that you search off of your Condemned Witch. You could go Forbidden Droplets, but I rather go for this one because it just feels better, and you don't really want to get rid of your shit as you would with Forbidden Droplets. And like I said, it's good interruption. 2 Regekis. This one is a personal choice as of now, because I do want to run 2 Pot of Avarice in this deck, because you do go through your monsters really quickly with how much you special summon. So if you have Pot of Avarice, take out these and add in 2 Pot of Avarice. But I haven't been able to get one yet. They just haven't come in. So I'm running 2 Regekis because they're Regekis and they're not once per turn.
And why are they at more than 1 copy now? My God, that seems so freaking surreal.
Yeah. So, but like I said, if you have Pot of Avarice, put it in a Pot of Avarice instead of these. And then 1 Begone Demon Child, because it's Begone Demon Child. Hand traps really do hurt this deck more than you know.
Come on, Konami, bring it at more than 1 next ban list, please.
And off to the traps. Most important one, Generator Boss Fight. This card's effect is that you can activate 1 Generator field spell directly from your deck or graveyard, and then your opponent draws a card. I'll get into why this is significant in a quick combo tutorial at the end. And then 3 Solemn Strike, because it's Solemn Strike. Who doesn't love a good negation of summon or monster effects? And then off into the extra deck. The extra deck is a bit weird because it's just rank 9s. Obviously, the best rank 9 is Banned, which is Calamities. So the second best one is Phantom Fortress and Blasphemir. Detach a material to banish a card from literally anywhere. Top of your opponent's deck, their graveyard, their hand, or their field. Non-targeting, it's broken. Second best one that you're going to go into is Infinitrack Earth Slicer. Its first effect is that you can detach all the materials that it has, and then you can pop that many cards your opponent controls. And if this card destroys a monster by battle, you can attach that monster to this card as material. And it's a 31 beater, so it can actually get over quite a few things. Like, let's say that your opponent has a Dragoon, summon this out. If it's still at 3,000, attack into it, use this effect to get it as material, no more Dragoon for them. And then to round off the monsters, we have 2 of the Generator boss monster. Good to get to swipe their stuff to attach them as material. Good to draw things and further your plays. But I really haven't gone into this one. And then just one Sacred Tree Beast. Again, just as you know, there's not really a lot of level 9 rank 9s that you can go into, but you can just fill up the rest of the extra deck with any Link monsters or any other level 9 ranks that you feel comfortable, but basically the only ones that you're going to go into are Earth Slicer and Inner Blafnir. And then we obviously have the tokens. I don't have the Generator tokens. I forgot to get them when I made a locals or Frank's run today, but if you have the tokens, I recommend running them. All right, so basically the whole combo that goes with these two cards is, let's say that your opponent, they draw a card. Since they drew a card, you activate its effect to special summon from the deck. A lot of the times you're going to go in for Loptar, but if you're worried that they have a Nibiru, then you go for this first. So you special summon out Loptar. Loptar's effect is that you would get out the tokens. And then from there you can use this effect to tribute one of the tokens during their main phase to get out. Most of the time you would get out Har, but you can go for any card that goes into whatever situation that you want. But let's say before that, try to activate this during their draw phase, and they try to Ash it. You would chain this to Ash. This would send to the graveyard, and then you would activate another one directly from the deck, and then they would draw a card off of this. Ash Blossom would fizzle since this went to the graveyard, and then once that resolves, since they drew a card off of this, and this is the first effect is not a once per turn, you can just activate it again. And then just move your plays from there. Anyway, that is Generators. Like I said, it's a good deck when it goes off. It has a lot of consistency to it, but I would not recommend taking it to a YCS Regional. If you have any recommendations for the side deck, that's where I'm having the most trouble with, because I'm really trying to figure out like what side deck cards other than back row removal like Twin Twisters, Cosmic Cyclones, Harpy Feather Duster that can really go into the side deck to help combat the meta, because a lot of the stuff that you could play, like Anti-Spell Fragrance, hurts you just as much some of the times. But again, let me know in the comments down below what you guys would change in the deck. Until then, we will catch you guys later. Hit that bell for notifications. Check out our links to our Discord, our Twitch, our Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff, and we'll catch you guys later.